All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here to close out this week, this Friday, April 29th, and rather perhaps I should say this month, right? For all of us still sticking with us here, like Scott and Robert, I know a couple of us like Norman and Grant ended up dipping out, perhaps coming back this afternoon. I know Johanna's still with us here, as well as Bill, Kathleen, and Robert here rejoining us as well. Great to see all of you. Great to see all of us on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube here one more time this week. Hey, folks, we got a lot of opportunity here heading into the end of this week, end of this month, like I just said. Perhaps some options expirations on the table, but with that, it creates a volatile market. Obviously, not the direction we want the market to be going in, but hey, if you know how to short, this is trader's paradise. And if you don't know how to short, well, to be honest, and you can't say this every day, but guess what? Today was like trader's paradise. We ended up seeing like 4 different runners across the morning up until right now. One of them, obviously here, the red box trade. So, we ended up seeing this make yet another run up from the market open. I mean, just right now ended up breaking higher. This thing's been on a mission all day. Had a nasty shake heading into like noontime, 12:30 Eastern. So, normally at that point you would think, all right, well, crap, there goes the run. This thing's not going to make another big push. At least that's what I thought. So, hey, you move on. But this thing ended up coming back and then some. If anything, when you look back on the weekly chart, monthly chart, daily chart, actually the monthly doesn't really give you much. On the weekly, I had to jump back to 510 was a pretty strong, level or area, 5 to 510. And I wrote that inside the live trading room just before we started this meeting, didn't I? So you can just scroll up, see there right before we started. I said it 225 needs to hold 5 to 510 as support. So, that was based off of, finding this year as past support. Well, at this point, obviously it needs to break higher. We can't keep seeing this, get needled as support. It's got to, really begin to show more strength from this point. And as we're talking, it's off to a good start. So we'll take it, right? Let me ask for all of us live inside the trading room, at least, smaller crowd collectively on YouTube and inside the live trading room. It's a Friday. It's, kind of after tax season and, after that and trading this week. We want to take a break, start the weekend early, perhaps. Anybody in this trade right now live? I don't want to distract anybody if they are, but just out of curiosity, anybody in on a smaller position or in on any position for that matter on this RDBX? Aravinda in right now? All right, cool. Well, hey, that's all I wanted to ask. I don't want to distract you from your position. Remember, history could always repeat itself. This could shake back down. I'm not hoping for it to, but hey, just focus on your trade. Hopefully Aravinda in from a good spot here. But right now we'll definitely put this on the afternoon list, of course, the red box trade. All right. So I told you that there was, opportunity all around today. And to be transparent, I was in Redbox a little bit earlier. I sure wish I held the shares I was in from, but I did all right. But I was more focused on a couple of other trades. There were a few other trades that I felt were like better looking throughout the morning or just provided better opportunity. And perhaps I was wrong with better looking with this because this is probably the best looking stock across the entire day. But, hey, across the afternoon, right, we'll just go across a couple of the stocks that we ended up trading. And then really we'll kind of just like jump to the top percent gainers list and see what we have. The ZYME trade I am in right now. So I wanted to bring this up very quickly to mention. So, right now from, 7 was a great level to short from, but I would really want to see this begin to pull back lower towards 637. 637 to 640 was a pretty strong pre-market support level, after hours level back from yesterday on this trade. It is shortable, hence why I'm short. Right now, though, it failed to push up after the market opened. So that's what, led to that opportunity. Ended up seeing initially the best level off of like 736, where we, had some pre-market selling that kicked in early on in the morning. But after that, it ended up dropping down to 7, crashed below there, up. And right now, as we speak, it ended up just dropping down a little bit here. It hit 640, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to yank it. I'm going to pull the plug right now because I originally had my order set at 640 to close, and I ended up switching it up to a stop order to protect me during this meeting. So it actually just dropped right down to $6.37 on the nose. I'm getting out, so yeah. At that point, I'll try and re-enter this trade perhaps if this provides another opportunity on the way down. but I was looking for a bounce off of that area. So hopefully we can finish up this meeting quick. Hopefully either that or this thing takes its time and provides us a good opportunity to see what it could do off that level exactly heading into the afternoon. All right, so I got out at 43 on that, but I could have gotten out at 40. Yeah, I think it's going to squeeze up a bit. All right, so we had that. We had the VAX trade from earlier today. This ended up making a nice run from the late morning, ended up breaking higher heading into the early afternoon. And that's something that you normally don't expect, right? Just like the red box trade ended up making one run earlier today when the volume dies off. Typically, so does the trade itself. You always hear me say that here, right? So you can't guarantee it. So this is nice to have. It ended up breaking higher, led to another good opportunity, right? So with that, this thing is like still looking pretty strong, albeit making lower highs right now. It's like kind of filling in sideways, there. For right now, a lot closer to the highs compared to its lows or where it had opened up at, which is the same price. But right now at least the VAX trade will also put on the watch list here. So 3 good stocks at least so far: Redbox, VAX, and the ZYME. All right, I'm also in 2 other stocks right now too, so we'll get to a couple of things here throughout this meeting, and we'll talk a little Bitcoin heading into the end. I'll do another big video heading into the end of the weekend, at least by Sunday. But with the way the market's looking, I told you to watch out at that 40,500 area, 40,000, 40,500. That's the phrase I've been using for months now, and now that it's dragging away from it, what do you think's going to happen? So. We'll talk about that more at the end or, over the weekend. But yeah, let's see what we have across the gainers list, folks. We have the GTYH trade. It's up like a 100+%. I think it's a buyout. I believe it is. Yep, that's a buyout. That's the look of a buyout if I've seen one. All right, so VAX, Redbox, ZYME, we already have on the watch list already. We'll even come back to those at the end, although they're already on there. We'll just like kind of give you a last look for all of us on YouTube and Facebook Live. MBI, I don't know. It's like, obviously at the highs, but I don't know. I'll come back to it at the end. It looks interesting. Not fully sold on it just yet. I want to follow something that can be pretty steady, but also, provides like a better looking opportunity. All right, ZYME. That's actually still kind of near that 637 price, 638 right now testing. FNCH, not all of them look good. This one ended up looking good in pre-market. They all look good until they don't look good. So, hey, heading into the market open, we always say, look to take your profits on your pre-market trades, focus on your levels for the next 6 hours. Prep your morning up after like 9 o'clock, 9:15 or so. And this ended up dropping off shortly after and never looked back, unfortunately. So, led to maybe like a couple of bounce, tiny scalp opportunities, but obviously not the type of move that you would want to see. So, it just goes to show not all of them ended up like working out the way that we wanted them to. The NutX trade, another big runner from today. So we ended up seeing this back from Tuesday this week, if I'm not mistaken, that is Tuesday this week, and ended up making a huge pop for us back then, roughly from 5 upwards towards 1380, 1381, the high back then. And right now, obviously making a strong push back up again here. So, just be a little wary around that 10 level. It's been not only holding around or holding at 10, it seems like it's holding it here a lot better now. It seemed a little choppy at first. So I'll admit now it's holding a lot better, the way that you would want to see this level, hold as resistance or, if it could break above it as support. But, it was pretty choppy earlier. So, history could repeat itself in that regard. Just be a little careful. But nonetheless, though, it still looks pretty strong for the meantime. So the NutX trade I'll put back on our list. All right, so let's see what else we got here, folks. CYN. I'll tell you the truth, on my ZYME short, originally what I wanted to do was like take like 90% out of that area and then keep 10. I took the whole thing out. I could always, get back in or trade it again or trade something else later on. But if that keeps dropping off, it's all right. CYN ended up making another big move for us today. So, this one's unfortunately pulling back down quite a bit. So I'm not fully sold on this just yet, making another big run back up. It is at support, past resistance off the chart. You could see whether that was an iceberg level or not, just seemed to have been holding around that like 470-ish, 480-ish area. And, it's kind of like trying to re-break above it. So, that could be appealing. I'll write it down on the side list here, maybe come back to it at the end if I want to. All right, we keep it going here, folks. Momo, former runner from back in the day. I say back in the days in like a few years ago, 3, 4, 5, even like more than that probably. But like, this has been like a known stock for us inside the live trading room. It ended up making a little run today, but right now it kind of stalled out here. Not a whole lot happening right now. The Nut X trade ran for us, so I bet, yeah, and the FRGE. I mean, when Nut X ran for us back on Tuesday last week, the FRGE, I remember, and I don't know if they're related or not. I don't care to check, to be honest, but I just remember that the FRGE trade ended up, moving around the same time that was. So, do a little math. If Nut X is up again today, I'll at least take a look at this. The only issue on this is that the order book's just paper thin. It's just, you can't even see any volume on the book out there, really, right? So, with that, it doesn't really make it tradable entirely. PDD trade, it's just choppy for a $44 stock. It's not worth it. Flat. EDU, same thing, flat. TAL, I'd assume the same thing. Yeah, seems really flat. All right, market dropping off. So, UVXY is on the way up. I actually want to give a shout to Johannes. I mean, like, incredible call. Hey, whenever it's slow inside the live trading room, which, normally on Mondays or Fridays it could be, and especially heading into the warmer weather months, it is. I always like to toss a quick question, engage conversation with you folks. I'm like, what's everybody watching right now? And a little silence at first, but Johannes ended up writing. And hey, I can't thank him enough for actually pointing this out. This was like an incredible call, and I normally don't show an ETF on the screen, so it was a good call. I did. So he wrote earlier inside the live trading room at 1:39. You could scroll up if you're in there. How about this for all of a sudden YouTube and Facebook Live? Oh, I know you once right now. How about that? You can just go right down to the link on the yellow banner below right there to join us inside our live trading room to catch Johannes's incredible call out on UVXY. You could see it, though, inside the live trading room. And with that, well, especially if you're a student of mine inside the live phase 2 curriculum, you know what that means. And I instantly wrote right away after, I said, makes you wonder. And he said, yes, it does, and keeps moving up. Well, what's happened since? It's been an hour and 5 minutes. So, with that, that's been incredible of a call, Johannes. I appreciate you saying that. Robert N on our Redbox, that is, our DBX, getting some money on that, about 20 cents himself there too. But Johannes, really nice call. UVXY pushing up as the markets are continuing to break new lows right now. So that's exactly what we teach folks inside coaching, inside our live trading room of ours. Very nice. So UVXY I'll put on the list in particular. Of course, with the markets dropping off, I normally wouldn't focus as much on an ETF, but with great direction, of course, we have to. All right, so what else we got here, folks? Not a whole lot really on the gainers end. BZUN, want to look at really quick. All right, let's hop on over to the losers list. There's a few things that are shortable that are down, and if they're not down that like illustrious 5%, 6% or more, whatever, they're looking good with the market dropping. Good short opportunities out there. I told you I'm in on a couple, and I'll get to those if they're here, and otherwise we'll look at them. All right, ACCD, talk about another dead cat bounce. The stock also is shortable. So, when the market opened up this morning, it tanked, right away. So it's hard for us to really try and jump in that and call that a great short that we took, because we're normally waiting the first 3 to 5 minutes after the market opens up. So after it dropped off, yeah, it could have provided a good little opportunity from the next big level off of 5 or 550 perhaps even, but it more so provided a better dead cat bounce opportunity, much like the TDOC trade did back from yesterday. So, after it bottomed out, it ended up making a nice squeeze back up from there, and really nice run. Ended up holding pretty much nicely off of the opening print, which was roughly off of 630. Built a beautiful head and shoulders from there, and the rest is history from that point. Led to a great short, from there. But otherwise pretty flat, more exhausted right now. I could put this on our list. Is it possible that it keeps dropping back down? Yeah, I think so. I'll kind of round up all of these side list stocks. I'll kind of label them as, and kind of cherry pick the best looking one at least between this and CYN and MBII. I think that other one was. All right, I don't think the trades I'm in we're going to find on the loser side, so I'll just tell you. We'll jump to Hood, and we'll jump to Neo here in just a bit. Obviously, market dropping off, and this is starting to fall back down a little bit itself as we're about to jump onto the next stock. So you know what? Doesn't hurt us. Helps us more than it hurts us right now. I just don't like building up a big watch list here at this point. Like to keep it simple. So, right now at this point, beginning to, show a little bit more selling perhaps as it's, pulling back more. So, all right, you sold me. I normally am not that easy to get sold on like that, but if I had like another 8 or 6 stocks on the watch list, then I probably wouldn't have, done that. Very is at the low of the day. So you'd think that would be a great thing for me to, put on our watch list. I normally would, but if we're following the big money and if our whole philosophy here is to follow iceberg orders here, you tell me. There's no real like iceberg orders out there, and then otherwise it's not really trading a whole lot of volume per minute. So yeah, it's at the lows. Yeah, it's shortable. I don't think this is all-time lows. If it was, that could have been a little bit more of a selling point, but yeah, I'll pass on it. All right, let's see what else we got. Amazon down big, obviously. So we're not going to day trade that, but that's pretty indicative of the market dropping off. One of the mega cap companies. I know Apple ended up doing really well from yesterday, but I don't think Apple ended up saving the market, unfortunately. Between Amazon and then off the top of my head, geez, Facebook. I think Facebook as well, right? So, with that, I mean, market tanking right now. I could be wrong on Facebook as well. It's just been a long week. Pardon me with that. But let's see what else we got here. Otherwise, we got a big losers list right now. Of course, a lot of things down with the market, perhaps. So, see what else we got. Jim saying 416 is a key level for the SPY. I haven't done my SPY charting in quite a while. I do that every now and then if I have time, and more often than not, I have like too much stuff on my plate heading into the open for me to do that. But I've done that every now and then. I just don't have my levels right now, Jim. But I'll believe you there. So it's under it right now. So unless if we get snapped right back over it rather quick, we want to see a good reaction off that. I don't think that we're going to see that between you and I, but I appreciate the heads up. 416 on the SPY. You see it on my chart at least. Give me a quick sec. There we go. All right, CENX, aluminum stock, ended up dropping off, but it's down 13%. It's at the lows. Again, though, same thing. It's only trading like 2,500 shares a minute. Not really a whole lot that I really want to see. For right now, I'll pass. Give me a quick sec right now. Actually, I'm going to jump to one of the trades that I'm currently moving my stop lower on right now, just in case it does squeak back up a tiny amount. But the Robinhood stock here, I'm not going to put on our watch list for you folks. I thought it was going to be a better drop-off heading into this afternoon meeting, and it started off all right. But, it's starting to move back up a bit. That's what I was doing there. Just the last 20 seconds, I was moving my stop back up or stop down a little bit at this point. So, if it ends up snapping back down after we finish up this meeting for Kathleen and Leda and Robert, Jim, Patrick, all of us inside the live trading room, I'll call it out for you folks there. But, just showing it right now. Not a whole lot really happening on it just yet, aside from the snap back up. But VERI, this thing is actually still dropping. This might be, on our list here at some point here too at the end. Geez, not a whole lot else out there, folks, that looks too much like a no-name stock for me. Anything else otherwise is pretty expensive, like VRSM and Team and, low volume otherwise. If there's anything else that's up, down, left, right, more than that 5 or, so percent. Type it in the chat board. Let me know. For Steven on YouTube, how about this? I'll get to Steven first. Wrote us a minute ago here. Let me take a water break first. How about that, Steven? All right. So our big oil stocks, a secular short now because they've likely peaked and at a minimum deserve a pullback. Well, I could take a look at Oxy. I mean, that would be a very general thought, to have. I mean, that'd be a good general thought to have, I might say. But otherwise, though, let me just pull back to a daily. I mean, with the market dropping off, unless if oil could hold strong, and I'm no oil expert, so don't take my word for anything with that. But it's to say, for as much as Oxy went up over the last like 5 months or so, from 25 to 65. I mean, we've seen bigger pumps over time, but the more it goes up, you'd like to think, yeah, when's it going to begin to pull back? So you gradually look to kind of scale out of a swing position if you're in one, or long term, whatever you're in, or if you're looking to enter a short position, well, that could be different because you don't want to try and get in at the wrong time, right as it's popping back up, or so to say. So, for right now, at least if you're looking at the daily chart, given kind of the little local break of support that you have off of like 57, 58 area from the last week, of course, you need to see that hold over the next 1 to 2, I'd imagine. But, I can't give you any like expert feedback, though, in regards to oil in particular, unfortunately. It says VLO may be overextended. Well, I'll tell you what, Oxy's tanking. This is a damn good short here heading into the afternoon. I might put this thing on our watch list for the close as a day trade. Let's see. Right now, VLON dropping, or VLO, I should say, VLO dropping off right now. I mean, let me just zoom out on the daily chart. I'll take your word for this here too. Back from October, November time, from 65 up to 120. I think Oxy's more overextended if you're talking a percentage move. Maybe by a little bit, maybe not by too much, but Oxy seems like a pretty interesting short. I don't know. You tell me. It's on the way down to major support, likely off 55, but this is a stock that we normally keep on our side list right now. So, I'll kind of do a quick rummage through of like all of the other side list stocks that I made mention of. Obviously Hood, kind of squeezing back up a little bit right there. It's not really too impressive. Oxy looking like a better trade. My Neo trade, I wouldn't miss it for like a 50-year lightning storm. So, for Patrick and Robert and Bill and Aravinda and Kathleen, I've been calling this out all throughout the day today. I told you just before I was looking for Neo to drop down towards 1650. We're on our way. Since we started the meeting, we're on our way. So right now, in from 17 basically on that. I could put this on our list too. Oxy looks even better in my eye, actually, even though I'm in Neo. Let me just go through some of the other side list stocks here. Otherwise, we'll wrap up. Scott saying the DWAC trade looks good. For $52 stock, not worth it in my opinion. It's up 9%, right? So actually from a zoomed out look, didn't look as appealing. Zoomed in, and I think a lot of that run was from the after hours yesterday, but it's still up like 9-10%. So looking at this more recent run off the lows, it looks all right. But, hey, it's at the end of the month, unless if it was like trading a lot more volume than it is right now, I'd be interested, but otherwise, I'm gonna pass on it right now. We've seen DWAC trade much better. I always cut it with you folks straight because, again, Neo isn't on the main list. I just showed what I was watching there, what I'm in. But, we've seen Neo make bigger and better. All right. RJF says NutX small pop. So let me get back to that. That's already on our list. So if you're joining us just a bit late, we started off kind of like around this stock and went our way down the gainer side. But yeah, the NutX trade's on our list already. This one still looks pretty strong. Let me just jump back to that MBII. We said a couple were on the side list here. I don't know. This could be a buyout. It's not really trading enough volume, in my opinion, for it to be a buyout, but it's like flat. It's like at the highs, but it's flat. Yeah, I'm going to pass on this. And then CYN. There we go. So sometimes you folks wonder why I like to talk so much, flat my gums. I like to filibuster a little bit here like a politician. How about that? Just so we can keep this going. And next thing you know, CYN's pushing back up for us to try and, take again. So CYN we'll put back on our list. This was on the side here. I told you folks we were going to come back to it here at the end. Unfortunately, politicians, all of them lie. I'll try and cut it with you folks straight. That's the difference. But nonetheless, though, folks, if there's any other stocks, let me know. Last call. For all of us on Facebook Live, for all of us on YouTube, I'll just tell you right now, if you have any other questions, thoughts, comments, suggestions, feel more than free to send on over an email to josh@c2trading.com. Again, you could always join our live trading room, begin for next week by going right down to the yellow banner below. But any questions you might have beforehand, if you want to just send over my way, feel more than free to do so. Enjoy the weekend, though. I'll, make a more extended video on Bitcoin going into Sunday, I believe. All right, Robert, I'll message you inside the live trading room. All right. For all of us there right now, though, I'm going to just jump onto a quick call. I'll be back on the mic later on, right at 3:30 to wrap things up heading into the end of the week for you. All right. Talk to you soon.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.